Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to come back because the conversation will continue on as it pertains to P. Diddy, okay, and the abuse that he has put out there amongst one of the victims we know for sure is Cassie, his former artist and girlfriend. Video did leak out on yesterday for those people that may have been anywhere under a rock, just to let you guys know. News did break. CNN broke the news and video, exclusive video over there on CNN, where it shows the assault taking place against Cassie. All right. It was, listen, that thing was played in my head quite a few times. I'm not even going to hold y'all. It was terrible to watch her go through that. And there are still people out there that are still kind of questioning and not necessarily believing that Cassie was really a victim. You know, you even had somebody even mention something like if that was Diddy in the video type of situation. So we're going to get into quite a few of the reactions. So I just want to make sure that I have everything over here on my screen prepared because we have a lot of things that I want us to check out. So make sure that you guys are showing your love, your support for the channel itself, making sure that you guys come into the video. You are liking up the video. Okay. Let's see. I want to make sure I have that open. And is there anything else? I think this is one of the things I want to get open. So we'll move that one up a little further. Okay. All right, all right. What's going on? Hey, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. You could be anywhere on this Saturday, honey, in midday, but you are here with me, and I do appreciate it, child. It's giving every bit of gloomy outside. Okay, it is a cloudy day, but it's going to get better over here on our side of town next week. What did she say? If. Did I say if? Why you put if in the thing with a bunch of question marks? Did I say something? Did I say if? Anywho, y'all, let's go ahead and hop on over so we can get into a few things, okay? Um, Oh, you might be referencing when I was mentioning the people that were questioning Cassie's statement and whether not Cassie's statement, but more so the video, questioning whether or not if it was really Diddy. Yes, 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 yes. We're gonna get into that. I believe Kwame Brown was the person that mentioned that in his video. We'll talk about that and just a lot of different, responses and reactions from different people. But let's go ahead and switch over to screens because I do want to share some things with you
Drawn.
guys.
Is God's side.
Let's get that off. Yeah, so we're switching over. And first things first, we see where Diddy put up just a few days ago, which was Time Tells Truth. Now, at one point, Diddy did have his comments limited. So for him to have his comments limited and then he opened up those comments, it makes me believe that he was getting pretty comfortable. He started to post more, post family pics, post pics of him with one of his daughters. He's talking about time tells truth. It surely does. And with enough time, we have more truth. We really don't need to see anything else, honestly, but I don't believe that this is all that we're going to see. A few months ago, what did we get? We got the lawsuit that was extremely detailed coming from Cassie. And then months later, the home was raided. After the home was raided, now we're getting video. So we would be fools to believe that that's all that they found. And listen, I'm not blaming the company that went in and had to do all of the checks and get some of this information. I'm not blaming them for releasing this because I would feel a way if, y'all collected all this evidence and all of this information about him and you can't really use it to prosecute him criminally for the crime against her, So they're sharing, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of that. And I feel like they're going to share a little bit more. They did put out a statement and we'll get into that. But I want to check out some of these different clips of the relationship with Cassie, that's going viral over the years or whatnot. And I feel like some stuff was like in our face plain as day. And we already were hearing the rumors about him anyway. But, I guess, now that we have even more information, it makes you go back and like look at stuff with more of a fine tooth comb and just be, pick out different things that you may not have noticed from the beginning. Hold on, what did he say? Oh, okay. I thought he was telling this man that he was his role model, but I think he was saying he used to be. But anywho, let's keep going. I was looking at those comments. So let's hop over. This is the Met Gala, okay? And we're going to get into this quick interview, this 30-second clip of Diddy with Cassie. And it's giving very awkward. I don't know if he was expecting her to walk up or not. It makes me think that maybe something had just transpired between them and he was afraid she was probably going to say something in the interview or whatever. His vibe was just, it was just really, really weird. So let us check this out.
What a beautiful dress.
Thank you so much.
Y'all see the
I
deep,
wanted to ask you, I
deep
can't wait to
inhale?
see 3 a.m.
Yes.
The controversy.
Yeah.
How can we get a tape of this?
Oh, I'm gonna send it to you. I will email it to you.
Email me the
Yes.
whole thing.
Yes,
I love
yes,
it. I
yes.
love that you're constantly
Thank you.
crushing the glass ceiling or crushing the black
yes,
ceiling.
yes.
You're
Not-
one of the first. One of the first.
And I'm blessed to be in this industry.
Yes, and you're
I
blessed.
just try to blend it with my artistry.
Yeah, and you create that. I'm thrilled. I want to see that like tomorrow, 8 p.m. Send it to me at 3 a.m. in the morning, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
And there was another longer clip that I don't have where he asked Cassie a question. And when he asked Cassie a question and wanted the interviewer was asking Cassie a question, and I think he could have been asking about her album or something. I can't remember what the question was, but Diddy just like stared at her. Like just stared at her to see like how she was going to respond to that. It was really, really weird. And I just really hate that she suffered through this. And it's crazy because although I feel like she did suffer in silence, I feel like there were a ton of people that were aware of what was happening and nobody said anything. I feel like she even highlighted those people. I believe she did highlight some of those people in her lawsuit. So a lot of y'all knew what the was going on. And it's a no disrespect, y'all. It's not. But I always go back to this person. And I know she may not have nothing to do with it. I know that. I know that. But I can't help but say, hey, Mary, how are you? Hey, Mary J. Because you've been through your own share of things. Did you see or witness anything? Because I feel like they have still maintained their friendship over the years. You know, I think it could have been a documentary or something that Mary J did and he was there, or maybe it was vice versa. Maybe it was something that Diddy did and she was there. It was like a birthday celebration dinner of some sort. And it was recent within the past few years. So it just makes me be like, hey, Mary, how you doing, girl? You okay over there? Okay, we just checking, honey, because, you know, we know you was around. We know you was around, honey. Okay. But let's go ahead and keep going. What else do they have? This is a moment that Young Jock shared a while ago, and he did an interview with DJ Colonizer, and in that interview he kind of touched on Cassie. I feel like this went viral either the top of this year or more so towards the end of last year, where it went viral. And he talked about her shaving her head, and I guess that was because Diddy wanted her to. So this is just a little piece here. Let me refresh and see if we could get it together.
I was watching Puff. The nigga Puff was looking up there. He saw this white woman. It was bottles on bottles on bottles around her. It was lit. Puff jumped out. Me and Cassie sitting next to each other. My wife right here, Cassie right here. The nigga jumped off the bar, came over and said, yo, Cassie, tomorrow, I want you to shave the side of your head. And I was like, what the fuck kind of request is that? Like, so when I'm like, what the fuck? So when I look up there, this white woman's side of her head was shaved, my nigga. And the bitch looked good with it. So I was looking at Cassie. I was like, well, I was like, you're not about to do that, are you? She said, well, I mean, whatever Sean wants, I'm going to do.
Okay. Right there in plain sight. So it seems like Jock was privy to it.
I was watching.
But Bout didn't know how to really respond to it. Like, okay, damn, he got her under control. Like, what was really going through your head? Did you think at the time, Jock, that she might need to be saved? Did you think at all? I'm just wondering, okay? this is one where they're saying that Diddy just burst into her studio session, which is interesting that you burst into her studio session because I feel like we really ain't even getting no music from her for real, aside from 2 or 3 songs.
Keep up, keep up, keep up. We got in this room, we go from room to room. This is what made Bad Boy. We go from room to room up in this bitch. Oh, who's this?
No.
Who's this? Who's this? Who's this? Say what's up to the people.
Hi, people.
Say what's up to the people.
That shit is bright.
Say what's up to people.
Hey, people.
That's Cass right there. She's in the vocal booth doing what she gotta do. Come on, come on, come on.
He just interrupt
We
people's
working.
sessions.
We just some young black men and women working, doing legal work. You lucky we ain't out on the streets. We doing legal work.
Girl, let's keep going. Okay, this was another awkward
Got
moment.
shit to
between
say.
them.
When you put your girl on the snap, you on my, what you gotta say now? What you gotta say now?
What do
You
you
ain't
mean?
got shit to say. When you put your girl on the snap, you on my, what you gotta say now? What you gotta say now? You ain't got shit to say.
I can't. I can't. Definitely giving what you said, Trauma Queen. It's definitely giving something that is hyping him to be like that. And then she don't want to be bothered with you. And I'm glad they said it's like, yeah, right in plain sight. She was hiding. Ain't no telling what she was really hiding underneath that cover either. Girl, this is a mess here. And this, y'all, knowing everything that has happened between them, and he bring his, and we already thought that it was a bit weird for him to even thank her towards the end of his speech anyway. But for him to come back and say that, knowing everything he did to her, this was before the lawsuit. So I think this may have happened maybe a year or so, I believe, before the lawsuit. I think. Because I think this was also the time that Young Miami was standing up there with that sign talking about some Poppy. See, I feel like he made her do that. I think he made her do Go Poppy or whatever that sign was. I think he made her do that. And I feel like it was connected to humiliation in my personal. Right? That's a mess.
I got to give a special thank you to the people that was really like there for me. Bishop T.D. Jakes, my chief of staff, Christina Coram, KK, Lorianne Gibson, keeping me free.
Keeping you free?
Yeah, and also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Love.
Did y'all see the posture switch up? And also Cassie for holding me down in the dark time. Like, scoot back just a little bit. You trying to intimidate this lady through the screen? I can't. And also when I look at this, it makes me think that they probably was trying to negotiate something with him at that moment. On some, hey, you need to give my girl what's her just due, or she finna expose you, or whatever the case is. And he probably thought she wasn't gonna do it. Probably called her bluff or whatever, which is why he probably was taunting her there. Only for her to wait until the very last minute. I guess she was making him think they wasn't gonna do nothing. And then at the very last minute, as they were about to end this whole, you can sue, you know, the person that may have harmed you. At the very last minute, she dropped a bomb. Dropped a bomb on his girl. This, as she should have, and I wish she would have spoke up about it, you know, much sooner. But I do understand what she may have been going through mentally, and probably not even wanting half of what has come out to be in the public eye. So I definitely understand why she didn't do it so soon. She took her time, and everybody's timing is different than others. Okay, now on CNN it looks like they interviewed one of Diddy's former assistants, and she says that she's not surprised by the recent footage showing Diddy attacking Cassie, and expresses that Diddy uses people and doesn't see the humanity in them. Girl, well, you better know what to say, and we about to listen to you too.
I mean, you know, when I watched it, what stood out to me initially after Elizabeth Wagmeister got it was she's barefoot in the beginning. And it's like she was so quickly running out of the room to get to the elevator that she didn't even put her shoes on yet.
I mean, that's terror. That's what you would do if there was a fire, right? You would just run out, grab what you could. So I can only imagine looking at that, the fear that she felt she had to get out of that room in bare feet in order to be safe or protect herself.
I mean, you worked closely with him.
I did. I was his assistant between 2008 and 2009, and they were dating when I worked for him.
And what was he like, and what did you observe about them at this time?
I observed nothing that would lead me to believe, or there was no scuttlebutt about it. I never saw him speak harshly to her or be abusive toward her or anything like that. I rode in the limos with them. I went to parties with them. I guess what I would say is, even though I never saw anything that could corroborate what's in that lawsuit and what we just saw, there was not one cell in my body that was surprised.
Why not?
You know, it's going to sound a little bit weird because I don't have any facts, right? And nobody's going to call me to testify. But I would say that it's woman's intuition. I would say that I was around him a lot, and I got a feeling for who he was. I didn't see anything that could get him in trouble. But I think that the power dynamic in a situation like that, especially her at the beginning of her career, so young and beautiful and talented, and she hooked herself or became involved with somebody who had so much power. And I felt that working for him. I'm sure the whole team felt that. And I mean, that's right, he's a mogul, so of course he's the big boss. But I think that you could imagine, certainly in my interactions with him, you could imagine how that would dissipate and sort of seep into every aspect of his life, and especially his relationships.
Yeah, because I mean, she was 19, I believe, and he was 37 when they first began dating.
Right. So imagine how that would be, and then he's rich, and not only is he rich, but he controls your career. And all you want in your career, right, is she's an artist. She wants to make music. She really was an artist, is an artist. And now all of a sudden, she's with somebody who could make that happen for her, and it doesn't happen.
So you don't, it wasn't anything specific. You got a strange, uncomfortable feeling from him?
I mean, I think it's more to do with the way that he treated people. Again, nobody was mistreated that I saw. I didn't feel mistreated, but it was very clear to me. Again, this is intuition, right? This is what we pick up as women and humans who are smart and have been around. He just didn't see your humanity when he looked at you. It felt very obvious to me that everyone was just sort of there to be used, that he can get the most out of you. You know, for example, I went to go work for him. I'm a pretty senior person. It was sort of an odd thing. I have a fancy master's degree, whatever, who cares? But it was, you know, he wanted to get me for as cheaply as he could. And most people would just dive in and take it, right? Because you think that you're going to get something by working for him.
And you don't. I don't think it's a single person that has worked with this man that got something from him. But also, I will say two things. One, I don't think, in my opinion, that it is fair to go on a platform to speak on it and then act like, oh, I didn't see anything. I don't know anything about it. Like, I don't know, but I did get a vibe, but you can't really explain that vibe. So that is a bit awkward. So I do see why she said, it's going to come off a little weird. Right. But at the same time, I feel like you may have signed some paperwork that restricts you from ever talking about it. In my personal, that's what I think. Similar to what that young lady did that sat down with Tasha K that was working with Kevin Hart. She signed documentation to never speak on ever being his assistant or anything like that. And I guess she thought that she was in the clear and she could run her mouth. And now you have a lawsuit. Okay. And whatever he paid you, he wants that back and then some, because you were never supposed to speak on you being his assistant. And I feel like that this woman might be in a similar boat, you know? So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. What else do we have? Jonte Austin. For a lot of people that don't know about Jonte Austin, he is a very popular producer. I feel like I say popular because I feel like a lot of the songs he wrote are popular. You may have known about the songs before you knew about him. Well, I feel like he may have also worked with Diddy at some point in his career as well, possibly, or maybe some of Diddy's artists or whatnot. But he has come out with his statement and he says, "Attention, all bands, bitch ass niggas, okay, who are thinking of typing out anything that even resembles a defense to that video. Well, you might want to get with Kwame, okay? You might want to get with him. But anywho, he says, if you stop right now before posting, no one will know that you're a bitch ass, NIGGA, who thinks beating up a woman is okay. Oh, and dudes who beat women is what he says. So somebody comes down and says, okay, admirable post, but how much SHI have you known or heard about behind the scenes prior to hard evidence being revealed? Have you spoken up about these things? Did it stop you from working with them NIGGAs? Ooh, I feel like that was a fair question to ask. So then he says, from working with Diddy, question, he says, check my discography and see if you can find any Diddy or Bad Boy collaboration standing by. Okay, so I believe that because of how popular he is, he may have worked with Diddy. So this is him confirming that he's never worked with Diddy. But what you did not answer, Jonte, you did not answer whether or not you knew or have heard of anything in the past. Okay, that was the first question that was asked of you. So I feel like you may have known, and maybe y'all was operating in the industry as people like to operate in the streets, and they like to operate in the streets on some, we ain't snitching, we ain't telling, whatever the case is. All right. So that's what I'm wondering. Why didn't you say anything? I'm not seeing him respond any further to this person. So that's what that is. But y'all let me know what y'all thinking about Jonte and him coming out saying what he has to say and not fully addressing whether he heard or knew. Y'all, I feel like a lot of people in the industry knew, and I feel like a lot of people probably felt like they were powerless because Diddy was the one that was more powerful and had all the connections or whatever. So I think that may be a reason why people just let a lot of stuff slide. Shout out to the 900 plus people we have in the chat. It's only giving 200 likes on my end. So if we could get those up to 400, that would be great. I appreciate you guys for being here as we chat briefly about this. Somebody says, Jamie, I agree with you about the woman on CNN. Why is she on the platform and has not seen any evidence of violence? I stopped watching the interview. I believe Cassie, no question, period. I do too as well. And she may not have seen anything in that time frame, but stuff was happening. And I honestly feel like, let me see, that could have been the early stages of their relationship. So maybe it was subtle things that he was slowly doing. And then it only gets worse over time. So that's what I'm wondering. At what point, when she started to be the assistant, at what point were they dating? Was that in the early stages and he didn't fully show himself completely, but was planting little seeds of isolation? Because I feel like that's one thing they start doing in the beginning. They try to isolate you from your friends or your family, try to turn you against people that they know care about you and people that can see through them. They don't want nobody around that can see through them and influence your mindset because they want to be the only ones that can influence you. But I refuse to believe, y'all, in all honesty, I don't think anybody can be around Diddy for a limited time and not see and notice and feel something off. So she said she had a feeling. She's saying that she didn't see nothing is what she say. But I also wouldn't be surprised if she's tied to an NDA and can't really say a whole lot about it, but didn't want to pass up the opportunity on being on a public platform like CNN. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, those are my thoughts. Let's keep going, all right? Because Aubrey O'Day also came out and had some stuff to say. Let me find what all she had to say, because it was a few things, okay? So let's see. All right. Okay, so she did post this. TMZ presents the downfall of Diddy. I guess that's on Netflix. I haven't seen it yet. Y'all, excuse me, you guys let me know if you have. I haven't checked it out yet. I'll have to see. I don't know if that's on Netflix or exactly where it's at, but it's TMZ presents the downfall of Diddy. And then she goes on to say, she reposts this and she says the picture is getting a lot more clear for you all, I can imagine. She says survivors or anyone that triggers easily might not want to watch this, okay? Images are indeed disturbing. Cassie, Diddy, she says hashtag Kim Porter, prayers up for all of his victims. Listen, it seems like she may have even known of something when it comes to Kim Porter. And people have, and we talked about that on yesterday. People are asking that her case be reopened. this is crazy. It ain't really crazy, honestly. I feel like it's things that need to be it need to happen at this moment. Um, but it's sad, you know. And you know, as I speak on Kim Porter, I'm thinking about her son Christian, and y'all know Christian ended up doing this diss record to 50 Cent, and he's telling T or whatever. First of all, I feel like he's always idolizing his dad. I'm not gonna. That's what the boys do, child. Some of the kids, they idolize their dads, their parents, or whatever. Then he turns around and drops T and says, "Oh, well, y'all was looking at the wrong house. Y'all should have been looking at this house or whatever like that." And now this video surfaces, and I'm like, Christian, baby, where you at now? What do you have to say now? What do you have to say now? And then I'm sorry, for me, it's possible. Yes, it is possible that he did not witness this. Thank y'all. It's on Tubi. Thank you. So I'll check it out there. It's possible that he did not witness this, but I feel like he has witnessed different situations between his mom and his dad. Now, I could be wrong. I feel like you may have witnessed your mom being emotional, but maybe she could have never told him what she was emotional about, you know. But I do feel like his kids were exposed to a lot of stuff. And it's just real interesting to see how he just still, that's my daddy, and I'm going to stick beside him. I can't tell you what to do. That's your blood. That ain't mine. On the outside looking in, it's easy for me to be like, write your daddy off, you know. But I don't know your situation internally, but I just feel like you gotta, you might need to be a little slow to speak too, honey. Because there's so many people eating their words right now. You over there trying to diss 50 Cent and trying to make it seem like the people and the allegations folks putting out there on y'all is like cap, kippity, cap. Okay? And it seems like to us, Christian, baby, they hit the right house. Okay. It's given they hit the right house. They did not hit the wrong house because they got these tapes, and this is just a piece of what they leaked. And I am cringing, honestly, y'all, as I'm thinking about this. Like, I'm cringing so hard because in the lawsuit, I do recall Cassie mentioning that he would have her engage in certain activity with other people and he would record it. And to know that the feds or whoever ran into the house to do the raid has that, and they're combing through all of this stuff, so they're seeing this, pay that lady some more money. That's emotional distress all over. Like, not only does she has to deal with people that's going to at her, saying whatever they say. Hopefully she's not even on social media. She's taking a complete break. But she's having to deal with that. Ain't no telling who texting her phone, calling her phone, saying whatever, emailing her. And then with all of that going on and her having to relive that moment, she got to also think about the fact that, oh, wow, certain information was captured during this raid, and they may see even more of this. Things that I never wanted anybody else to see. Like, they're going to be able to see me in the worst states of my life. You know? Girl, I want her to sue him again. Do you hear me? Oh, I want her to sue him again. And I can't take it. But Christian, baby, for you, they hit the right house. Somebody says having Danny Kane playing in the background kind of giving me chills, and that was on one of the videos that she had of herself, and it was Danny Kane playing. She says, isn't that the point? How you gonna fix it? Are the lyrics, he can't undo what he's done. There is no fix. Okay. She also goes on. Somebody says, girl, you need to have receipts before you put stuff out on Diddy. He gave you an opportunity of a lifetime, and here you go, 2024. What the dog? What does that mean? Just because somebody gave you a piece of an opportunity for, and I do say a piece because it ain't like he really gave her anything. They slaved away in that studio, slaved away on that television show, and you had the audacity to take all their publishing and stuff. And then in order for them to try to get it back, you tried to barter with them because you already knew what was coming. I'll give you your publishing and this and that back if you promise to never ever speak on anything with Bad Boy and this, that, and the other ever again. But I don't think an NDA is like, I don't think that matters if he were to go to trial and they needed their testimony. I don't think that could override a testimony, in my opinion. But I feel like you knew what was going on. and you tried to sit up there and pretend to be like you the good guy, changing your name and love this and love that, and let me pull out the Love album and da-da-da-da-da. But that is stupid. I don't like that. So some people didn't take the deal or whatever. But yeah, so I don't feel like, that's why I say piece of opportunity. Tell me, it's an opportunity of a piece of it. A piece, because they didn't get all what was owed to them. So then Aubrey goes on to say, I grew up with 2 lawyers. All I have is receipts. Additionally, my talent allowed me the opportunity of a lifetime. Let's get that straight. I know that's right. I know that's motherfucker. I know that's right. Don't sit up there and try and play me, boo. Don't do that. Okay? Somebody else says, Aubrey, on behalf of everyone, I'm sorry we didn't listen to you sooner. She says, let's focus on changing the system now so no one has enough power to bury or discredit voices. Ooh, I know that's right. And it's really going to cause for people to just be vocal. That's it. They just gonna have to be vocal. And I understand that the hotel received $50,000 from Diddy for that tape, but I still feel like y'all could have tiptoed in y'all J's over to the police department and making maybe an anonymous statement. But who's to say all of those steps weren't taken? But because of how powerful he was at the time and is or whatever, maybe nothing was done. Maybe it wasn't taken as serious as it should have been. So we don't know the full steps. But y'all could have said and did something. And I kind of feel away too, because I'm like, 50 racks? That's all it was worth to y'all, 50 racks? He would have had to come up off some serious bread for that tape if y'all wasn't going to tell anyway. Okay, 50 racks. About 50 racks. Do you know how much that tape would be worth now if y'all would have never did $50? Well, that was 2016, wasn't it, when the incident took place? So I guess, honey. All right. This person responds to Aubrey and says people think traumatic episodes are easy to talk about. She says, or even understand fully and come to terms with immediately, especially at young ages. It can take decades. Truth. The laws need to be amended in regards to the statute of limitations protecting perpetrators regarding harassment, assault, and RAPE. Okay, so Aubrey definitely has been in the trenches for a minute talking about Diddy. She been saying for the longest that something is coming down the pipeline when it comes to him, and she ain't never lie. She ain't never lie. So that's what Aubrey is saying, and I guess she ain't want to say everything. But now, Aubrey, I feel like it's okay to say everything, because I know you witnessed a whole lot. I don't know what else is going on to restrict, because I feel like she leaves nuggets, but she don't give it all that she, because I feel like she got a lot. I feel like she got and knows a lot. But that's a part of what she has to say, okay? Now I want to get into the other young lady that has been seen to date Diddy. I believe her name is Gina. And her and Young Miami kind of had a spick and spat at one point on social media, because y'all know Miami has been dating him for maybe 2 to 3 years now. And it's been this other woman that he's been messing with, Gina, as well. But it's like he didn't really want Gina, so I wasn't sure what was going on. It seemed like Gina wanted him, but he didn't want her. And he's caught out with Young Miami, but then turn around, Gina is caught on video hanging out with Diddy, so they ended up having these exchange of words or whatever. But I do believe Gina had an interview with either Tasha K or somebody else. She had an interview with someone, and she kind of, shared some things. Okay, so let's get into it.
He had we were in his closet, and he pushed me, and I fell to the ground, and then he stood over me. So I was laying on my back, and he stood over me, and he started punching me like this. He avoided my face, but he started punching me on the side of my head, and I was just covering my face. And then after he got done doing that, he stomped on my stomach.
Oh no.
Really hard, and I took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe, and he kept hitting me, and I was pleading to him, can you stop? I can't breathe. And he stopped for a little bit. He grabbed my hair from the back and was punching the back of my head, because he was just avoiding my face when he was like hitting me. Caught me texting another man. We was in Miami. It got really crazy that time. We was upstairs and he had like, we were in his closet and he like pushed me and I fell to the ground. And
Wow. And we definitely believe her. I don't know how people felt then and felt like she could have been lying or whatnot. I don't know. But I believe everything she's saying, and the video makes me believe it even more. Right? And the crazy thing is, I'm looking at the studio setup, and I don't believe Tasha has had this studio set up for some time now. So this video is old. I would think at least probably around 2018 or something up in there. And somehow, I maybe the power, maybe it's the money, maybe it's the fact that he takes care of things financially or whatnot. She was back in a situation with him, because we saw that as recent as maybe 2 years ago, when her and Young Miami got into it, and Young Miami told her like, "BIT, you a eater. You know Diddy would have had you on your knees eating it if he wanted to," or whatever. And I think people thought that she was just joking and just, trying to have the hardest read or comeback or whatever the case was. And it's like, oh no, girl. She wasn't lying. He really would be having them down there doing that. Now, that is, girl, this is some crazy work here. This is terrible. Terrible. I hope Gina is freed from him. I really do. I hope that she's moving on her life and she's trying to get her healing the best way that she can. And she's able to just move on from this, Thank you so much, Talia, for the super chat. Talia says, let me put it right here so that I can see it. Talia says, it's a shame that it took a video for some, come on now, to believe Cassie, even though she detailed, when I tell y'all that was the most detailed I have ever read in a lawsuit. I'm talking about detailed down. Okay, she detailed events, particularly the video we all saw, down to a T. Shaking my head, hashtag the delusion. They don't want to believe her. Thank you so much for the super chat. They don't want to believe her. They want to uphold Diddy and whatever the image and the idea that they have created around him for themselves. That's what they want to uphold. And sometimes you gotta accept it. Take the L and just accept the fact that who you believe this person to be, it's not who the hell they were. It's not who they were. It's not who they are. It is what it is. Okay. They trash, period. Shout out to the 1,300 people, almost 1,400 people we have in the chat. If we could get to 500 likes, that would be great. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Not Diddy Turner. Diddy Turner, he may not be charged, but this career and reputation is ruined. Oh, absolutely, 1,000%. I do believe that it's far beyond the statute of limitations, and she won't be able to prosecute or anything, which is the reason why I thought she was suing him to begin with in the first place. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I hate that, because y'all done released this video and got all of us angry. We upset about it, and I really would like for something to be done about it. I don't really want him to just be depleted financially. You know what I'm saying? But I want him to go under. But I think what they're trying to possibly tie him to is the ST, the trafficking, I think, which could potentially get him locked up for real. Y'all know what I thought about? This is an opinion, not a fact. Just my opinion, speculation. Listen, I feel like this. If Diddy got to a place where he had to go to prison, he's not going. I do believe that he will make the executive decision to leave this life before they will put him behind bars. That is just my personal. That is what I think. Okay? Now, hear me, hear ye. All right? It's just an opinion, not a fact. Okay? I would not be surprised if it came in the form of something, I don't want to say similar to Kim, because I don't know the true details surrounding Kim's passing, but if it came in a similar form of illness, like, pneumonia or heart attack or something that could possibly be abrupt, not like a pew pew, not like a pow, not so much as a murder, for real. I feel like it would be a situation like that. Now, it may be something he may take on his own, like that man that was in the courtroom who was getting ready to be sentenced. Once they told him his sentence, he acted like he was coughing and he took some, clapped out. Now, I would say that it would be that, but follow me. I don't think it would truly be that. So I also can see him paying someone to clap. My opinion, it's just an opinion, girl. Follow me, okay? Because what I also believe is if you choose to snap out of here, if you're following me, I do not believe insurance is going to pay that out if you choose to snap out of here, right? But if something abruptly happens that cannot be traced, or if something is done to you, right, then your family could potentially receive that insurance and his children will continue to be straight forever through the insurance. Does that make sense? So that is what came to my mind, but I'll let the insurance folks check me accordingly, because y'all gonna do that anyway, because that's just how y'all is, girl. Not a video goes by that I don't get checked by somebody in the comments, girl. All right, I told y'all to add a little seasoning before y'all over there trying to chew me up, okay? But anywho, yes, that's what I think. I think he will make his executive decision. If it's not by his own hands, he would have paid the hands. And it would be something that's, going to look like it actually happened to him in an effort to receive the insurance so that the children and the mom or whoever will be taken care of forever. That's just my opinion, though. That is not a fact. That's just what I was in my head like. So, I don't know, girl. We will see, honey. I don't think that man gonna be trying to go behind them bars. And he's like, you got me, duh. I would never, honey. But, hey, that's just my thoughts. They might try and move in on him before he can even try and pull any type of stunt. IDK. You can see him running to another country, honey. He might be trying to hop and skip over there to Bali so he can get with Russell. Or he might not even go over there because Russell ended up getting served. And Russell was like, God damn it. Okay, so maybe he'll go to another country or something where you can absolutely, not touch him. So I don't know. Where did that woman go, that the Black Panther, what's her name? Asada Shakur? Don't quote me. But I think she was possibly connected to Tupac. But she had something. I think it was Cuba. I think she ended up going to Cuba, and I think America has been trying to get her back ever since, and it ain't happened. All right, so we'll have to wait and see how that's gonna play out for him. Good luck. All right, let's keep going though. Let's see what else we have over here. Okay, Peter Thomas, who was one of the people that was so adamant, all into the comments about he was under Diddy's comments. He had a lot of things to say over there under Diddy's comments. And of course he got drugged, rightfully so. So he did come out and he kind of like made a statement and, tried to retract some of the things that he said after the video came out. So he also decided he was going to put his own video up as well. But let me see real quick. Let me see if I have his other one over here. Let me see. Do I have that one? Okay, I don't think I have the other one, the other post that he made. But let's get into this video. The caption says, "There's no apologies in me for what I say 4 days ago, as there's no apology in me for what I'm saying right now." Also, you wasn't apologizing before and you ain't apologizing now. He says, "I'm not God. I'm not Jesus Christ. I can't cast judgment on anyone until evidence is provided." We all saw the video today. What Puff did was wrong on so many effing levels. I don't even know where to begin. I can't unsee what I saw today. Okay, so let's check this out.
World. I heard the video I posted today of what we all saw Puff did to Cassie in that hotel. I heard there's all kind of comments. I really usually don't read the comments. I just say what I say and I keep it moving. All right, but from what I saw today, it was deplorable. It was whack. It was weak. It was horrible. I never want to see any man treat any woman like that. I don't care what the circumstances are. That should never happen. Okay? It hurt me. I can't unsee it. I look at him different. I've never seen that side of him. But I see it myself. 3 days ago when I'm standing with him and said, y'all are dragging him and y'all just want to lynch a black man. Okay, and I hope he's not that stupid to blah, 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 blah. I meant it. Okay. 3 days later, I see the tape myself. I think he's weak. I think he's out of control. I think if I'm worth that much, okay, all right, and the woman want to go, I'll just let her go, okay? I'm not going to beat nobody and stomp on nobody and kick anybody in the face. That's a deep hatred and rage and all of that shit. That was out of control, and that shit was whack, okay? God is God, all right? So 8 years ago, look what God did. It came out, all right? Came out. Whatever is kept in the dark is going to come to light, okay? All right? But what I don't know, I don't know. What I know, what I saw with my 2 eyes today, I condemn that shit. I got 2 girls and 7 sisters. I would never want to see or hear that anybody do anything like that to any woman, not just my 2 girls or my sisters. I don't want to see anybody do that to any woman. I don't care what fucking race they are. I don't want to see no man do that to any woman, period. And I'm standing on that. Just like I stand 4 days ago when I didn't see the evidence, but all you guys want to lynch somebody. I say, yo, slow down. Y'all too hasty to lynch a person without knowing all the facts. All right? The facts came out today. So now today we could make some accurate, okay, all right, statement of what we saw. And what we saw was fucked up. And Puff, on some real shit, that was weak as fuck, my nigga. Okay, all right, and I'm glad it came out. I'm glad it happened. Okay, because you have 3 sons and 4 daughters. Okay, and your son is learning from that shit today. It's going to be harsh. You can't even come outside. Nobody, black, white, purple, green, I don't give a fuck what planet you're on. Nobody's going to ever see you the same after they saw that video today. And you have 4 daughters, and I hope to God that they never experience anything like what you put another parents through, seeing how you treat that girl. That was fucked up. And I'm standing on that.
All right, so y'all just heard what Peter had to say. I think the biggest issue I have with what he was talking about was y'all are so quick to lynch a person, this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, bro, her lawsuit was extremely detailed. And what I'm thinking is he probably didn't even read the lawsuit itself. He just saw headlines and made his assumption from whatever the headlines were. Because I refuse to believe that you read what we all read and you still came out with this type of thought. So, yeah, that's my biggest thing. Like, she was so detailed. That was one of the most well-written for me, from what I've read, on my channel. One of the most well-written lawsuits that I have seen. I was like, oh, my God, this is like breaking it down. Like, she still can recall so much stuff that happened earlier on in the relationship, the time of day where this happened, who was in the room, who was around. Like, she knew all of this. And I'm glad that she went through with her civil suit. And I'm glad that this document this video and stuff is coming out now, so maybe he'll be, more mindful moving forward and just be like, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to sit back and see before I'd rather a person say that before I just offer my opinion, let me just sit back and just chill on it. Cause I don't know what's going on. I don't think nothing's wrong with saying that. But that's Peter's statement. You guys let me know your thoughts about how you feeling about it. I saw somebody put in the comments, you got, what, two daughters, 7 sisters, and you still came out and said what the hell you said? Good night. Okay? Good night, sir. You have a great one. Let's keep going. All right. This is where Alex Fine, who is the husband of Cassie, has come out and he has provided his statement. All right. He did let us know that he wrote this a while back. He says, but the words still ring true, not just today, but every day. And I want my kids and every kid to live in a world that's safe for women and girls, protect them and treats them as equals. Okay. And he just pretty much gives his letter to women and children. Men who hit women aren't men. Men who enable it and protect those people aren't men. As men, violence against women shouldn't be inevitable. Check your brothers, your friends, and your family. I know that's right. Our daughters, sisters, mothers, and wives should feel protected and loved. Hold the women in your life with the utmost regard. Men who hurt women hate women. That's what it was given. Because he damn sure was showing he hated her in that video. And you know, I want to interject here and say, I feel like Cassie ran out of that room after he got in that shower. I could be wrong. I feel like he was in the shower. That's just my thoughts. I think something must have went down. That he hit her in the eye, as they said on the news already, gave her a black eye. When he got in that shower, I feel like she saw that as an opportunity for her to possibly get the hell out. Okay? And that's what we see. That's why she ran out. She had no shoes on. Let me go ahead and just say he about to get in the shower. And he probably came out the room, realized she wasn't there, ran out with the damn towel on. Possibly. But people asking why she ain't leave. This video shows you exactly to me, every time she tries to leave, what happens when she tries. And she even spoke in her lawsuit of the different times that she has been able to leave. She spoke about that and how certain situations were set up for her to go. I believe she may have had some assistance to get the hell on. Right? But then he'll get back in her ear as to why she should come back. I don't think it's any different than what any other regular normal woman would go through with a controlling, abusive partner, in my opinion. He goes on to say to all the survivors, find the men and women who help and love. To all the survivors, your stories are real and people believe you. To all the survivors, you're not alone, and there are men and women who care only for your well-being and safety. We want you to succeed and flourish. To all the women and children, I'm sorry you live in a world where you're not protected and you don't feel equal. I want to raise my daughters in a world where they are safe and loved. To the abusers, you're done. You're not safe anymore. You're not protected anymore. The man by your side or the men by your side are just as weak as you. You're so miserable with yourself that I'm not sure what was blurred out here would be considered, I guess, death. That death would be considered a kindness for you, is what he said. Okay. So Alex ain't never lied from everything that he wrote. And he put this out a long time ago, he says. So Cassie pretty much told him everything about their relationship. But I thought that he was like a trainer. I thought he was like a personal trainer to her and Diddy, and I could have that wrong. So I wonder, he probably witnessed some stuff on his own, possibly. You know, aside from what it is that she also shared with him as well. So yeah, guys. But there's more of people like reacting and everything to the video that came out. And this is the one that got on my motherfucking nerves, okay? This is Kwame speaking on the Diddy situation. So let's check it out.
About it then is, oh man, that nigga's a bitch ass nigga. You mean to tell me in a hotel like that with a wild nigga running up the goddamn hallway, throwing vases and shouting at a woman, slapping her? Why hasn't this video surveillance been released? Why is this video out right now? This video is from years ago. You mean to tell me the hotel staff, the security, and all these people, none of them said anything about this video that you can clearly see somebody, I don't know if it's P. Diddy, you see a man dragging a woman up the hall, throwing vases at her and shit, and nobody says nothing until now? And you want me to think that P. Diddy is just a sick motherfucker when nobody said nothing? This woman is cowering on the floor, balling up, getting stumped out, and somebody saw that on the video, and the only time you're going to say something about it is when Cassie give a lawsuit? This nigga has been telling the black community to vote or die, because he's a Democrat fucking pawn, and that's why he was able to goddamn run around here like that. A Democrat little fuckboy that beat up women and do all this well, I ain't going to go that far, do all this punk shit. And now everybody's supposed to be scared of him because he can hire somebody else? You niggas that's been following this man protecting this man, you guys are sick just like he is. If that's him in that video, and all of you men that's in that circle talking about take that, and all that monkey ass shit, all you niggas sicker than a motherfucker. Because all of this shit has been known. This is how our community is so dysfunctional. They see this type of shit going on and nobody say nothing. Nobody don't say nothing. This man is a mogul, and this is allegedly him on a video dragging a woman up the goddamn hallway, and y'all telling me that it ain't some black people that's living just as good as white people? He did worse than Dana White. I'm talking about Dana White this whole time. Dana White slapped his wife 2 times. This motherfucker stomping people up the goddamn hallway, dragging them, throwing shit at them. I'm looking at this video like, what the fuck? And the first thing that came to my mind is, how is somebody this visible, this famous, with this much money getting away with that type of shit? And I said, Kwame, why are you so surprised, boy? You've been right this whole time. This is why they so mad at you. You've been 100% right this whole time, boy. For the right person, they always look the other way. Yeah, for the right person, they're going to look the other fucking way. And it's sad. It's a sad day. I'm more mad at the people who saw the video years ago and never did nothing. That hotel should be boycotted. Fuck just P. Diddy. That hotel should be closed. It shouldn't be one black woman that go in that goddamn hotel and feel safe. Because you mean to tell me they got a footage of somebody whooping a woman's ass and dragging her up the goddamn hallway and throwing vases at her, and no hotel security said nothing? All of the hotel security staff should be fired. The hotel security should be the hotel should be added in that lawsuit. How do you protect a situation like that? And then now we all supposed to be only up in arms about P. Diddy when somebody has to enable this guy to do this shit. How did this take so long to come out? And if Cassie never brought up that lawsuit, this nigga would still be at the take that parties. Man, I'm out of here. I got a graduation to go to. I told y'all, it's a go along, get along gang, and these niggas will look the other way for the person they like and the person that put some squilla in their pocket. That's all to it. That's it. That's all. Ain't no such thing as no goddamn black unity. It ain't no such thing as unity, period.
All right, y'all. So that's Kwame Brown. I feel like he ended it with a little bit of sense as far as calling out some of the men that may have been aware of this, and y'all still over there to take that parties, and Diddy would still be Diddy bopping to take that. Okay, and obviously it is power, it is money that can make things like this go away. But it's clear that he just saw the video. He didn't really get into the article or anything like that, the fine details to learn more about the situation. But starting off, it seems like he was trying to like excuse it. Like, how you gonna say if that was Diddy? That was Diddy. And if you watch the whole video, like you say, when he comes closer into frame, when Cassie gets on the phone, you can see it's Diddy. So I don't know. But that's what he said. But Kwame Brown, for the people that's asking, like, girl, who is this man? Girl, he used to be a NBA player. He's a former basketball player. And he has his own, I don't know if he's a podcast now. I know he has his own YouTube channel, and he's, he's one of those people that just say whatever the hell on his mind, and that's just what it is, okay? Okay. So that's what, Kwame is over there saying about the Diddy situation. Yeah, I think some of the people that may have been around him in support of it can come to the front. Mr. Mace, who now wanted to go and turn himself into being a pastor and stuff. Now he over there with the podcast with Cameron and things like that. What did you see? Child, you better be glad this is not going to trial. But ain't no telling, because if they try to get you on ST charges, you probably still is going to go to trial. They probably still going to reiterate a lot of what we've already learned about, to use it against you as far as your character is concerned, okay? So, there's that. But let's go ahead and keep going, all right? This is Slim Thug, y'all, because Slim Thug was also under them comments, over there under the comments in support of Diddy, okay? And so he ended up getting embarrassed as well, once the real tea came out. So he decided he was going to come and give his 2 cents as well. And what he says is, damn Diddy. He says, I tried to ride with the black man who had no charges yet, but I can't stand behind this. I'll take this L, but I still will ride with my people until I see some sort of proof. I don't believe in blogs or civil suits. Why don't you believe in civil suits? I feel like I understand some of them. I do. But my problem with you, Slim, is you've been in the industry, honey, long enough to hear rumblings. How is it that me not in the industry, and when I was younger, I would hear things about Diddy, and we outside of the industry, we would hear things. You're in it. You were privy to, you were aware. So why are you acting oblivious or whatever it is? Why are you acting like it's not possible? We know that you heard SHI. We know that. And then now you have somebody providing very extremely detailed information in a lawsuit. I just feel like if you're not going to believe her completely, I feel like because there's a possibility of what she's saying could be true, especially based on what you may have heard and witnessed yourself, I think it would have been okay to just chill out and not even provide your statement or say whatever it is that you said, since you want to wait. Since he hasn't been charged yet, until I see some sort of proof. Well, I just can't get with that, because you didn't have proof that he did it according to you, and you didn't have proof that he didn't do it, but you still chose your side, and you still went over there and was over there in full support of him, and you could have just been quiet. And Tyrese, where you at? Because now I'm still on your ass too, Tyrese, because you couldn't wait to jump in. Okay, it was giving hopscotch. You couldn't wait to jump in. Okay, you couldn't wait to double dutch your ass into what was going on with Diddy. Where you at today? You ain't got nothing to say? You ain't got nothing to say either? But anywho, Slim Thug, I just felt like you could have kind of reserved that. But he does apologize to Cassie, though. He does. He apologized to Cassie, and he said whoever was on the right side this time is what he said. You could have just kept it. Just hold the L and sit down with it. Okay? Let's keep going, because 50 Cent has stayed on Diddy's R's for years. Seems like he never liked Diddy. It seems like he was hearing rumblings and different things about Diddy too. Now, what he may have witnessed, I'm not sure. But 50 Cent was privy. Slim Thug, I feel like you were privy. Okay? Did Slim Thug come before 50 Cent? I feel like Slim Thug stardom or his popularity came before 50 Cent. I think we knew Slim Thug before we knew 50. So if that's the case, then I feel like you really did know. You knew more. But anywho, let's keep going. So the statement was put out, and I do want to get into this first, because the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office put out a statement regarding the alleged video. They said, we are aware of the video that has been circulating online, allegedly depicting Sean Combs assaulting a young woman in Los Angeles. We find the images extremely disturbing and difficult to watch. If the conduct depicted occurred in 2016, then unfortunately we would be unable to charge, as the conduct would have occurred beyond the timeline where a crime of assault can be prosecuted. As of today, law enforcement has not presented a case related to the attack depicted in the video against Mr. Combs, but we encourage anyone who has been a victim or witness to a crime to report it to the law enforcement or reach out to their office for support from their Bureau of Victims Services. Okay, so then 50 Cent goes on to say, this is why they put that tape out. They know they can't charge him with what we saw, but they know we can't unsee what we saw. Didn't I tell y'all this yesterday? When I first went live, I told y'all that already. We had already had it all figured out before everybody started talking. We already had it figured out. Diddy bought the tape, got their home raided. The tape ended up coming out. Because of statute of limitations, they cannot put any charges on him. But if they do bring up a ST case or some sort of case up against him later on, then they are using this to already put damage on his character and reputation. Now they are staining that now. No, they don't know who the jurors would be should that go to trial. But everybody damn near watches CNN. A lot of people are privy to the news and all of that. So go ahead and put it out there. Chances are whoever they choose to be on the jury is more than likely. I'm going to say maybe half to majority might be familiar. They might be familiar with the case. I know you're supposed to ask certain questions and all of that to make sure you get an unbiased jury. That ain't always the case. I feel like they're going ahead and messing up this man's image now for later. Okay? And this ain't it. Let's get into more because there's somebody else that came out and gave a statement. I believe he was a producer or something like that. So his name, I'm not sure exactly what his name is, but he's connected to Death Row Records. He says, I told everybody that Diddy was a bitch. Okay, he was a band back in 2011 when he took a pass at me over the French Montana deal. No one believed me. Diddy tried to blackball me because I didn't suck his DIC. Okay. But before investigating, he didn't know my roots with the music industry and with Suge Knight. What goes around comes around, and I'm still here, motherfucker. Y'all seen the videos today. Y'all should have listened to Tupac, Word to 50 Cent. And then he captions it saying, 13 years I've been exposing this man Diddy. No one believed me till now. At the time, when you were my age, looking as good as I did, SHI, he wanted my... But my homeboy didn't know I don't get down with none of that SHI. So this man is accusing Diddy of allegedly making a pass at him. Okay? This is what he's accusing, and that's just what he said. He said Diddy tried to blackball him when he didn't get what it is that he wanted from the man, and this is alleged that what this man is saying, okay? This is what he's saying. All right, now let's keep going. So it's crazy that French Montana, this man seems to be connected to you, so I'm sure he made you aware of what happened, but you continue to work with Diddy in recent years because this man is bringing up something from 2011 that he's alleging. You and Diddy have worked together in recent years. So I'm not sure what that's exactly about. But okay. Let's keep going because Cedric the Entertainer has some things to say as well, okay? He put this up and he says, very disappointed by the state of our community. This video of Diddy assaulting Cassie is beyond disturbing. It's deplorable and at moments downright diabolical. As a father to daughters and young men, he must take real time to atone his and all the souls he has affected. It's the kind of damage that permeates generations. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And they already trying to listen. I'm just going to say, yeah, it is. You're going to have to sit in that. Talk about wasting somebody's time. He really wasted her time. He really wasted this girl's time, her career time, her love life, harmed her mentally. Shout out to her man because he seemed like he give her all the support, He gives her all of that. She got 2 beautiful daughters, so I'm glad that she was able to come out of it. Thank you so much, Olga, for the super chat. Peter is doing his PR work. Girl, he was trying his hardest, wasn't he? He was trying his hardest to do that PR work, couldn't he? Thank you for the super chat. Praise It Always says, is it a coincidence that the tape release was 6 months to the day of Cassie's settlement and Lucian's case dropped? Oh, interesting. It could be a coincidence. Thank you for the super chat. It could be a coincidence. But it definitely was given a response to Christian's diss track, trying to say they was looking at the wrong house. So they said we wasn't looking at the wrong house. Not at all. Here you go. And maybe they thought about that. Maybe it was like, matter of fact, we're gonna wait a second and we're gonna drop it on the exact day that the lawsuit came out. 6 months to the date, possibly. It's just real interesting that they dropped it on that Friday because they had this for a long time, right? So I do wonder, honestly, what made them really put it out on that Friday. And now it's the conversation throughout the entire weekend. And we'll be a fool to think that it's not going to be the conversation at the top of next week because I feel like it is. There ain't no telling what else going to come out for real, for real. Erica Campbell of Mary also came out and said, Cassie, I'm so sorry you have to relive this as so many are talking about your pain. May your new reality of love and family be louder. Prayers and blessings. and love. Cassie went on to get married and to have babies. Like, I'm happy for Miss Cassie. I'm glad she escaped that man. But Alex seemed like he been ready to box Diddy ass out for a long periodically time. He's been ready to give Diddy that work for a minute, is what it appears, because he has definitely been trolling that man in the past. And I don't blame him, especially when you get Diddy on the damn stage talking about some, and shout out to Cassie, yeah, for holding me down during the dark times. Okay. That was disrespect to the woman standing down there holding up the damn poppy sign. What? Judge Mathis speaks out. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about Judge Mathis' statement. He says, had a hard time watching the Cassie video. Sadly, she's not the only victim. Sisters, keep your head up. Okay, that's all he said. I don't know why I thought he was going to give this long caption and then topped it off with, Diddy being on crack or something. But, he kept it short, simple, okay? And he wants the people to keep their heads up, all right? And not just the women. Some men be out here getting abused as well, okay? Whether they getting abused by, their mates, whether that mate is a woman or a man, It's just to all of y'all, okay? All y'all victims. But let's keep going. Let's see what else I wanted to get into. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. This is I didn't get a chance to check this out last night, but I did save it because I meant to come back to it. And it seems like Van Lathan had to really get into some things, right? Because Rocky, she put up this statement saying, I had a conversation, and Rocky is formerly of Love and Hip Hop New York. She used to be close friends with Joe Budden. I felt like she was like a radio host or something at one point, but y'all correct me in the comments. But Rocky made a statement yesterday, a tweet. She says, I had a conversation with Van Lathan in 2019, told him about the Diddy abuse, and he said he wouldn't touch it because that was his friend. Then he called at Joe Budden to tell him where his BM was hiding from. Ah, the days, 2024, the year of truth. So then he comes to the top and he goes in. So now I'm nosy, so we finna get into it real quick, okay? He says, I've spoken to Rocky. He says, I'll address both things in the order they are being brought up. Around 2018, 2019, I was hosting a podcast called The Red Pill. Around that time, Rocky came to me wanting to do 2 separate interviews. The first was with Gina, the one that we just saw not too long ago, one of Puffy's ex-girl, the one that said he assaulted her in the bathroom. I'm sorry, in the closet. He says a longtime lady friend of Diddy's. At this time, she had gone on Tasha K's platform and accused Diddy of harming her. I passed on the interview. I passed because honestly, it's not now, nor has it ever been the type of thing that I do. Also, my podcast was in partnership with TMZ. You can't let someone come on that type of platform and just lob allegations. You're exposed to a lawsuit. And that's crazy because shortly after that, Tasha did get a lawsuit. But it wasn't from that situation. He goes on to say, if there is evidence, photos, video that gives you more latitude, but I hadn't seen that. When I declined the interview with Rocky, I mentioned I'd known Diddy for around a year at that point. He'd been trying to get me to come work for him at Revolt. I had to tell her that because if she finds out later, it looks bad. Also, when I asked people around Diddy about what I heard, and I did, they said that I would have looked like a fool for doing the interview because she would 100% be next to him again. And he ain't never lied because she was 100% next to him again. But it does not mean that it did not happen because that ain't what he asked you. He asked you, have you heard of anything or are you privy to anything that may have happened? Told him about what all was going on. They were trying to interview. She was trying to expose him and then said, you would have been a fool to do the interview because she wasn't going to do that but be right back next to him. And you're probably right, but ain't nobody asked you that. I didn't ask you that, ma'am. Okay? We didn't ask you that. But anywho, go on to say, I want to make something clear. This has nothing to do with Cassie. The first time I heard any allegations surrounding Cassie was the lawsuit. The first time I seen any evidence was the disgusting video today. The only time I'd ever in life heard of Diddy assaulted a woman was that one Tasha K interview in 9 years of being at TMZ. If Rocky feels like she was trying to say something and I wasn't listening, I apologize. In my time at TMZ, I turned down so many interviews, stories, tell-alls, etc. It was all it was like second nature. I watched the entire Tasha K interview and decided the interview wasn't for me. As far as me letting her know I had a relationship with him, I thought I had to. I might have communicated that in a way that didn't do me any favors, okay? He says some months after that, Rocky contacted me again to have Sin Santana come on the show. Sin and Joe had just broken up, and Rocky said she wanted me to come on the show. She wanted to come on the show to discuss her music. I was thinking about doing it, and to Rocky's credit, she communicated clearly that she wanted this interview to have nothing to do with their breakup. I couldn't see doing an interview and not asking about it. It wouldn't make any sense, right? Since I knew I had to ask about it, I hit Joe up to let him know she would be on the show. Call didn't go great. At the end of it, I decided the interview wasn't for me. Too much drama, and once again, I'd have been chasing clicks, okay? He says, I was never told Sin was hiding from Joe. I was never told there were allegations of abuse in their relationship. I was never even told about the nature of their split. If the ex-spouse of anyone I know decides they want an interview with me, I'm definitely calling the person I know unless I'm told not to. That's a professional courtesy unless I'm given information that's dangerous that puts him in a dangerous situation. Rocky says that by alerting Joe, I alerted him that they were in California for interviews, thus telling an allegedly abusive spouse where his BM was. Only I didn't know any of that. But once again, I'm sorry to have played any part in it. I should have just declined the interview and said nothing. Last thing, Rocky is a decent lady who had this industry show her its ass, okay? He's saying that people turned on her. She's been abandoned and kicked around like a lot of sisters have. I have no ill will towards her because of her tweet today. But it wasn't at all fair. I've done nothing to have my name connected to that video today. The trafficking to drugging to assaulting women, they ain't got nothing to do with me. He says I never participated in it or given cover to anyone I know to be doing that. Over the last 5 years, Rocky and I have talked here and there, and I was never even given an inkling she felt this kind of way about me. But it's an opportunity to reevaluate how you think you're showing up and how you actually are. I can appreciate him writing this lengthy message, breaking everything down. And my personal, sometimes Rocky do come left with it, which is why she had a hard time over there on Love and Hip Hop, because people wasn't really featuring her at times and how she comes off, you know. I don't know. She always moves like she trying to get back at folks or something. But I appreciate him, instead of trying to make her the bad guy or anything, I appreciate him clearing it up, letting her know that he doesn't have an issue with her. And the main thing I really like is a lot of times we do feel like we're showing up as a certain person, but to other folks, we're just not. It's not given that, you know. And he's taking his time to reevaluate. So I think that he handled this rather nicely. Now, did y'all catch that Joe Budden and hold on, let me see if I can open this up. Let me see. Okay. Did y'all catch that Joe Budden they were doing the podcast, right? But it seems like they started talking about Diddy and stuff, but they left some things out, right? So they uploaded the episode, but when they uploaded the episode, it had nothing to do with Diddy, but the timestamps were in the bottom. They were in the bottom. So people start calling them out about that because they were like, I mean, so are y'all talking about Diddy or y'all not talking about Diddy? Like, why are you doing that? Like, I don't think that's right. Y'all can talk about everybody else under the sun. You can literally sit up there and break down everything when it comes to the Drake and the Kendrick beef and stuff, but y'all are not. You're just not going to discuss the Diddy situation at all. So he finds that, or at least people found that to be a problem, right? So I did find some tweets because it seems like, well, we'll get into this first. And then I believe that, you know, there's a audio going around where they're saying that he did address this. So somebody says the Diddy topic was 100% edited out of the Joe Budden podcast. And whoever uploaded the podcast initially forgot to remove the Diddy timestamps from the description. All right. So whoever that was that does all of this, you in some trouble, because y'all talked about Cassie and them for a minute. It looks like. Yeah, y'all did. That timestamp looked like it went on from 28. No. It was an hour and 8 minutes. So y'all probably talked about that for a good little minute. At 1:08, and yeah, for about a good 8 minutes. And then y'all talked about it again towards the end. Okay? And y'all took it out. Now, I feel like with the the lawsuit first dropped, Joe was kind of trying to shy away from having the conversation about what was going on with Diddy. And I ain't really like that. But now they're saying that there's audio leaking where he addresses it. It appears. So they're saying Joe Budden responds to the backlash from fans for editing out his segment on Diddy's video attacking Cassie from today's podcast episode. Let's just check out what Joe had to say.
Night, and he said to me, "Hey man, yesterday, come on, I'll put the suspense to bed. We were in the middle of our show when that news broke. So we spoke about it for 4 minutes, and then at the end, before sleepers, we spoke about it for another 4 minutes, and then we went on about our day. And I went outside with Amani last night, and he said to me, "Hey man, I think y'all should readdress the Puff shit because y'all gonna get killed." And I said, "Why? The story was breaking. We addressed it." He said, "Yeah, but it wasn't the address. It wasn't the address that is appropriate for what happened." I said, "Why you say that? We did what we needed to do." He said, "Yeah, but I know y'all audience, and it was breaking in the moment. They wait from y'all." So I took it out. Because it was insensitive for the moment. It was talking for 4 minutes about what happened, and in 3 minutes at the end is not the attention that the story needs, and it ain't the commentary that it needs. So I don't need to be the first one to run to something. We're gonna get to it on Wednesday, but what do that have to do with the way y'all are speaking in this moment? Why do y'all think, after seeing a video like that somebody is running from a topic? Like I done told y'all the last time, I have absolutely zero ties with Diddy or anybody Diddy related outside of seeing his kids when I'm outside. Why do y'all think that somebody's scared to approach them? You niggas have been sounding stupid all morning long, and I didn't want it to continue all the way in the afternoon. So here we are. But some of y'all niggas, y'all are relating this stuff to like battle rap. Y'all talking about Drake. Like, what are y'all doing? Get a grip. Get a grip, relax, go outside, kiss your family. I don't think there's ever been this type of unequivocal evidence of somebody being a piece of shit that way, or at least I've never seen it. If it's ever existed, I have never seen it. Yesterday was my very first time seeing something like that, and it was tough to watch for many reasons. So
And I
what do
think
y'all?
that's all we just want to
So
acknowledge.
what do y'all think? Is like I'm gonna see something like that and not say fuck that nigga? Like, what type of human do y'all think I am? Like, some of y'all think the worst of me, and it pains me that I'm in this position where I have to dignify it sometimes because that's not in my soul and spirit. Fuck that nigga. You don't watch nothing like that, and I'm not one of them. I know it's an evil industry, and I know there's niggas out here protecting these people, and there's all types of there's evil shit going on. So I get it. I'm not down with none of that. I'm not in none of that. I ain't never presented myself like that. I'm I move the way I move to be able to not associate with those types of things. So where y'all get this stuff from, some of y'all is I don't get that. Yes, have I edited things out before because there's no charges and you don't know how things are gonna play out and it was a civil suit, there's nothing criminal, and yeah. Yeah. I don't think that's the same in the same ballpark at all as what we all witnessed yesterday.
Okay, so y'all just pretty much heard what he said, and it was given every bit of that NIGGA. Okay, I think that's the main thing a lot of people wanted to hear from Joe. They wanted to hear him say, F that. So we heard it. Does he mean it? I don't know. But some part of me feels like Joe could care less either way. It's just the vibes. Like, it's giving a little bit of, I don't give a what's going on with nobody else, for real, for real. I'm only talking about this because y'all want me to, but I promise y'all I don't give a I hate she went through that. Unfortunately, she's married now. Congratulations to her. Hope she can move on. Like, I don't give a damn. Like, that's how he's coming off. Okay. And as far as him trying to complain about people saying they sounded stupid and, they're comparing it to battle rap, they're not really comparing it to battle rap. They're just talking about the urgency when that happened, you were very urgent to speak on. You're very urgent to speak on some topics, but when it comes to your boy Diddy, people feel like you're slow to speak when it comes to that, and they don't really like that. And I think they were just highlighting it, and because of that, I think people were thinking you were tiptoeing around the subject matter, and they didn't like they wasn't feeling it, because you dive deeper on other stuff and stay on that even longer. So why not speak on this when this is a real serious situation, So there's that. And also, I want to get into Wack 100, who has some things to say after he witnessed the video. Okay, so let us go ahead and check out what Wack says, and let us pray Wack is not whack, because so many times Wack be being whack to me. Okay, so let's see.
Yesterday, I told all the homies I was gonna stay out of everybody's business. You know what I'm saying? I lied. Diddy, I just seen that video. You was a bitch ass nigga. And I hope, I hope, if whatever happens to you, I hope Big Freddie and Debo Eddie strap your ass down in a penitentiary Betty.
Wait a minute.
And I hope don't nobody come help your motherfucking ass, nigga. That shit, listen, you was a bitch ass nigga, Diddy. I told him I was gonna stay mind my business, but I lied. Not only did I lie, I'm finna get in everybody's business. For the next 48 hours, it's a blitz. I'm going to my war chest. I'm pulling every motherfucking thing out. And I got some shit. Y'all stay tuned. But Diddy, you did this shit. You's a bitch ass nigga, Diddy. It's going down. It's going down. Tune in to the 100 show. We launching next week. All independent artists, tap in with Love and R&B. Hit them motherfucking Christopher Lovejoy. Hit his back channels. I'm going to put up a post for y'all probably.
I cannot, because it's given that you utilize this situation for you to promote. Am I tripping? Because that's just how I feel in this moment, okay? I feel like that is what you did. You just used this moment for you to promote what you had going on. In my personal, okay? Let me go back. I just wanted to double check the neighborhood talk real quick before I get out of here, just to make sure no other statements have dropped at this time, okay? Oh yeah, Stephen A. Smith definitely chimed in. So let us go ahead and get into some of what he had to say about this situation.
Primarily, that's my day job. Remember Ray Rice? Remember what happened? Like 2014 when his girl was in the elevator and she either shoved him or hit him, and then he left hooked her and hit her and knocked her face into the bar inside the elevator. She hit her head to it, and then she laid on the floor unconscious in the elevator, straight up knocked out. And then after that, he didn't even pick her up, and he dragged her out of the elevator. This video, allegedly, supposedly, presumably, seemingly, whatever word's appropriate, with P. Diddy, Sean P. Diddy Combs. This is worse. We saw both videos. We saw the video from Atlantic City with Ray Rice years ago. We saw that many times over. We saw the collateral impact it had on the NFL, the world of sports, and beyond, because it heightened a level of sensitivity towards domestic violence and showed that level of awareness to such a degree that it permeates our thoughts and our minds, hearts to this day and age. In this day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is worse. I'm looking at the video again. This is worse.
They're equally bad, sir. The first one was bad, and so was this one. I don't think there's one that's worse than the other.
No wonder he settled the case with Cassie Ventura one day after she had filed the suit against him. One day. No wonder you've heard about so many different allegations when his homes in Los Angeles and Miami were raided by Homeland Security. This is bad. This is so bad, it's hard to put into words. I don't know how P. Diddy recovers from this. I don't know if he can. The only way is if it's proven that that video, that's not him. That's not him. This is the only way. There's no other way.
Why is you yelling?
There's no other way. No wonder we haven't seen him. Ladies and gentlemen, I cover sports.
Yes, you do. Sometimes I wish you would have stayed.
Primarily. That's my day job. Remember Ray Rice?
Try all that damn hollering. Like, you ain't got to do all that. Hell. Anyway, that was Mr. Steven giving his thoughts on the incident with Cassie. Now, child, let me get to these super chats real quick. Thank you so much. LV said that for the super chat. Love you, Jamie. That is all. Love you back. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Ali, thank you for the super chat. I think Christian's diss song and Diddy's tweets triggered Cassie. She told her legal team to drop the tape. They must have had it when they drafted their pleading because they described it frame by frame in their legal documents. Thank you so much for the super chat. I think that's a good question. I do believe that she may have had some, not a good question, but a good, statement or whatnot. I believe she may have had some evidence and stuff. It's just ironic that after the raise and everything took place, I'm still willing to believe that the folks that raided it released it, because I'm sure once Cassie received that so many millions of dollars from Diddy, maybe she was restricted from putting or saying anything further or of some sort, right? But you could have a point though. Thank you for the super chat. Okay. So that's pretty much it, you guys. I wanted to run you guys through everything, all of the reactions and things that we are seeing thus far from a lot of the, I guess you would say, fans, supporters, celebrities, or whatnot. A lot of people having things to say. You guys can definitely continue the conversation down below. Make sure that you guys do that while you're at it. I believe we had over 1,800 people in the chat. So definitely make sure that you guys are indeed liking up the video. Continuing the conversation, and that's all that I have at this time. I am Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like Soldier Ray. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some batteries. Stand for my honor, but you run no corner. Packing the stick with a drum.